Butter is good for inflammation. The return of Paul Saladino.
If you like butter, I've got some really good news for you. I
Everybody
recently came across a couple of randomized controlled trials in humans showing that consumption of butter is associated with less inflammation. Check this out. The first study is an 8-week trial.
Time out. I'm just going to read you the title of the study. Intake of butter naturally enriched with cis-9 trans-11 conjugated linoleic acid reduces systemic inflammatory mediators in healthy young adults. So CLA, which by the way is a polyunsaturated fat and a derivative of the polyunsaturated fat that Paul claims is the absolute worst for you, linoleic acid, which has been shown to have bioactive components to it. So where are the studies on butter, Paul? The randomized control trials on butter. I will tell you, most of the randomized control trials I look up looking at butter intake don't really show an impact on inflammation one way or the other. But there are studies demonstrating increased cardiovascular disease risk, a decreased flow-mediated dilation, and when you substitute butter for other oils like sunflower oil or canola oil, you actually see decreases in inflammation. And oh, by the way, a derivative of which is in this study.
Researchers saw multiple inflammatory markers decrease. Another 12-week trial compared 39 grams, about 2.5 tablespoons of conventional Danish butter versus pastured butter, and found that both of these butters lowered HSCRP, a common inflammatory marker, in humans.
Most studies show no impact, and none of the studies that I'm aware of show that replacing sources of polyunsaturated fats with butter improved markers of inflammation, and several of them show increases in inflammation when you have butter compared to sources of polyunsaturated fats, and you have increases in things like adhesion molecules like E-selectin, which are involved in inflammation, and also get negative impacts on flow-mediated dilation, which is a risk factor for cardiovascular disease. But I mean, why would you talk about those studies? I just want to point out, Paul and I were set to have a debate on Peter Attia's podcast about seed oils. Paul decided to withdraw from the debate. One of Paul's conditions that he wanted to make was that we would not use epidemiology. Why, oh why, is he using epidemiology to support his point? This is something that happens very regularly with any kind of nutrition zealot. They will cite lines of research that fit their bias, but when the same logic is used against their bias, they go, and pretend it doesn't exist. Super bummed that we don't get to do the debate. I do appreciate the fact that he was willing to consider it, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. A cookie made with butter enriched with cis-9 11 trans conjugated linoleic acid. Okay, see you guys. Bye.